he's going to have to keep that up for 12 rounds against me, and he's probably not going to like the pressure that I bring. We both know, looking at each other, it will get serious when we get in the ring.
This is the Boxing Insider. Coming up is part 1 of my exclusive chat with top British heavyweight Joe Joyce. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Joe, huge news, exciting news. You're going to be fighting Joseph Parker this summer. How excited are you by this prospect? It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, very excited. You know, it's everything's been signed, and it's edging a lot closer. It's almost finalised when we announced it. So now it's even further along. So I'm really excited to get back to Vegas, get into training camp. Well, I mean, the training, I'm already in a good place right now.
Yeah.
So going back to Vegas, I'll be getting in better shape, working on the techniques to deal with Parker. He's looking at his strengths and weaknesses and finding ways to capitalise it, using like my boxing skill and my juggernautness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, one thing I've noticed, Joe, in the build-up to this one, because you mentioned people have been speaking about this fight for a little while. We've been waiting for it to be signed and sealed, still waiting for a date. But what I've noticed from both yourself and Joseph is you're both really excited for this fight.
Yeah, and it's different. It's like there's no like animosity or anything or any awkward or something. Like I see him and we're both like good guys, so we're like friendly and stuff. He come and said hello and that, but we both know, looking at each other, it will get serious when we get in the ring.
And you mentioned that. What is your relationship then with Joseph Parker? Because again, we've seen that already. There's no animosity, so you're not going to build up some bad blood, some fake kind of animosity before this fight, are you?
No. Might have a dance off as we were starting ringside on Saturday night.
Can Joe dance?
Yeah, he looked like he can. He's got a few moves.
But look, Joseph Parker, it's a step up in class, isn't it, Joe? We look at the wins against Daniel Dubois and Carlos Takam. They're good wins, really strong wins, and it's put you in the position that you're now in terms of your ranking. But many people are describing this as a 50-50 fight. Is that how you see it?
I would agree. Yeah, it's a tough fight for both of us. He's very skillful. He's got a good chin. He's shown he's got decent power against Chisora. That fight he looked really good, and I'm just coming off an injury. So, but it's it's a great fight. It's a great fight for both of us. Outside the top 4, there's no other better fight for either one of us. Number 1 versus number 2, or 2 versus 3, with the WBO and the WBC.
No, I agree. This is it's a really exciting fight. It really is, and I'm sure it will capture the imaginations of British boxing fans and obviously globally as well. But is this a risk, Joe, or is this a risk which you think is well worth taking in terms of what it could mean if you were to beat Joseph Parker?
Every fight is a risk in heavyweight boxing at this level. But from beating Parker, it's only hard fights from here and only big fights from here. So I'm going to keep with my trajectory as stepping up each fight, and I look forward to becoming a world champion.
Well, let's have a chat about your trajectory then, because Joe, it's well documented. You were late into the sport, right? Were you 22 when you first started boxing? So you're then late as a professional. But since you've turned pro, you've been stepping up every single time. Big step ups. You're older than some of the big guys and top names in this division. So when it comes to your next fights and picking your next fights, does that play on your mind a little bit? Your age? Do you think you've just got to do things a little bit quicker? You've got no time to waste?
No, I'm pretty comfortable being the most decorated amateur.
Yeah.
I think in GB.
GB history?
Yeah, GB history.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's not bad. So I'm doing the same, picking up the belts from the pros as well, and I'm almost there in touching distance, ranked very highly in all the divisions, and going into this, what a great fight with Joseph Parker.
So talk to me about how you're going to beat Joseph Parker then. How is it? Have you got it planned in your mind already?
I haven't actually. I'm just like working on my techniques and stuff. I'm with my trainer Ismail Salas. He's gonna be cooking up and finding the weak spots and gonna work on the techniques to beat Joseph Parker. But I have an idea of myself from looking at his previous fights. He looked really good against Derek Chisora. Had good power and he's got punch resistance, and his skill set is really good. Like, he's got good footwork and defenses and can come back with, his boxing brain is very good.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to have to keep that up for 12 rounds against me, and he's probably not going to like the pressure that I bring.
And that's the thing. If you look at your last couple of fights against Dubois and Tacken, but also some of Joseph Parker's as well, Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora, these were real wars. This fight, I'm looking at this matchup, Joe, and you talk about styles and how they make fights. This one, to me, I'm looking at it and thinking, this is going to be an exciting fight, isn't it? Irrespective of who somebody thinks may win this one.
Yeah, it's a proper fight. I agree. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to get in the drawing board and make sure I'm the best Joe Joyce going in against Joseph Parker. I'm sure he's ready. He's already been in Fury's camp.
Yes,
for Dillian Whyte, so he's in a good place now as well. So it's definitely a 50-50 fight.
So what did you make of that, actually? Because we've seen lots of Joseph Parker in recent weeks. We know he's good mates with Tyson Fury, but that training camp, what was it? Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker, David Adeleye, Martin Bakole, Jarrell Miller was there as well. That's not a bad group of people to be training with, is it, every week?
I know, yeah, and especially they'll probably spar each other and stuff. So. Yeah, that's great for him. He's already like halfway there.
I mean, have you got a training group to kind of match that one?
Yeah, we working some out. I'll let my team decide, like most of the people. But I sparred Guido Vianello yesterday, which was a good spar, and I've got sort of a few names to spar when I get back to Vegas.
We saw the other week you and Joseph Parker already do a bit of a kind of a jokey face-off.
Yeah.
And the thing that
serious enough.
Well, about as serious as you and Joseph Parker get, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I noticed instantly, and so many people will do, is the huge size advantage, Joe, that you've got over Joseph Parker. Right? Now, I want to know.
Was he supposed to be 6'4"?
I think
maybe I stand a bit straighter and I had my heels on. But
I'd say, look,
the camera angle.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was the angle, but I'm looking maybe 3 or 4 inches bigger. Weight-wise, you're physically a bigger man than Joseph Parker. Now, I often wonder psychologically, you've got the obvious advantage physically that you are a bigger man. But psychologically, when you stand there and almost look down at another boxer, do you think that gives you some kind of advantage mentally as well?
Yeah, I guess it's a bit more intimidating when you're like looking up at someone or someone's looking down at you. So, but I mean, he's been in there with, like, if he's been sparring, when he's been sparring Tyson Fury, he's even bigger. Was he 6'9"?
Yeah.
So he will have shared the ring with people who are taller, so he'll be ready. And he probably has some things cooked up that he wants, that he knows how to. That he sees something that he can, like him and his team can see something where they can, combat me.
Yeah, for sure.
My strengths and weaknesses.
He's a hugely experienced boxer. He is, and he's got a couple of defeats on his record already. Joe, you haven't. Again, I wonder, what that's like psychologically. Because for me, I feel like with Joseph Parker, he's been there, he's done it, he's been in the ring with some top guys. But if he loses, I don't think it's as disastrous maybe as perhaps what it would be for you. Is that fair?
Yeah, I guess yeah.
You've got more to lose?
Yeah, and especially because I'm undefeated at the moment, and I aim to stay that way.
Absolutely.
That I guess he's having already lost and been at the top, that I guess he has it in his head that, it's possible, where I don't quite have that.
Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications for more great content just like this.